12 chic, elegant and timeless winter outfits. What I'll be wearing in 2024. Today's video is all about creating those very chic, elegant and timeless outfits for winter 2024. So I've got 12 style tips to share with you all to help you do just that. So let's begin. So let's bring this right back to basics. And when we think about how to look classy, elegant and chic any season, a really good place to start is of course by looking at what you've already got in your wardrobes. So start off by having a really good declutter, reorganizing your rails or your wardrobes or your cupboards. And in my case, getting some pieces down from the attic that you might have forgotten about, which is what happened to me with this lovely jumper, which is a prime example, I think, of a very timeless classic piece that I can now integrate into my outfit ideas again for another season. Now this is a couple of winters old and I bought it from COS. Yes, I did buy it from COS. Beautiful quality, as they often do with their knitwear. And the other thing I really like about this one is that it's long enough to be able to wear with things that are quite slim on my bottom half, like those leather trousers. So I've saved myself some pennies buying a new jumper because I already had it in my attic. So organizing and decluttering your wardrobe can really remind you of what you've already got, and then of course give you inspiration of what you might need to get. So leading on from the style tip before, seeing where you may need a touch more variety, or if perhaps a piece is looking a little bit tired, thinking about doing some tweaks and taking it to the tailor and getting it fixed up a little bit, or even something very simple like upgrading your buttons. That can always make a really big impact from such a simple tweak. If you've tried all of that and said piece is still looking a little bit tired and worn, that's when I would say, okay, great, let's have a look across the high street and see where you can invest in a new one. Which neatly brings me to that very situation with a gorgeous new camel coat that I've just added into my own wardrobe. As you can see, this new version of my camel coat is a slightly different tone. I actually think I like it even more. It's a little bit richer, a bit more sumptuous looking. So one key thing about looking and feeling really elegant is really trying to focus on those small details. Now they might seem insignificant to you, but I promise when you add them all together and it makes a whole, it will make a really big difference to your overall look. Now, when you think about adding in textures into your outfit ideas, often we'll think of a knit sat against cotton, sat against denim, maybe have a touch of leather, but it can be even more simplified than that. And let me just show you what I'm on about. So in this outfit idea, as you can see, I started with a base of my classic white shirt, but thinking about layering a little bit with my different textures, this one has actually got a really nice collar that's made from, I want to say waffle fabric. It's like a waffle shirting. That's probably what it is. So that collar peeps over the top. And then you've also got that lovely detail again coming through on the cuff, showing from beneath the top. Then you've got that different texture, obviously, with the cotton. This one's more of a cotton jersey with the stripes across it. I've just finished that outfit with my straight leg jeans, my high ankle boots I wear on repeat. And overall, it does feel a little bit Parisian, which I will never argue with. But ultimately, it's just a very classic outfit that's being mindful of adding in those textures and different layers in a really easy and simple way that you could recreate. I just want to say a massive thank you to those of you who subscribe to my channel and join me every week to talk about style tips and lovely outfit ideas. And for those of you who are new here and would like to subscribe to my channel and join our lovely community of fashion-loving women all around the world, it would be very much appreciated. How to make your workwear look chic even when it's cold outside? That is the question. Now, funnily enough, I actually found a really nice new combination of smart casual outfit that I wore before Christmas for an event I was going to. So I knew London would be freezing, so I definitely needed my thermals on underneath. So I've added one underneath the blouse. I've got my tights underneath those trousers. They are one of my favorite pairs of tailored black trousers with that lovely pleat detailing coming down the front. And then layering even further, I added my boucle jacket over the top, and of course that black tone is picking out the dots from on the shirt, tying in nicely with the trousers. And then funnily enough, I finished with a coat which I know I said before Christmas that I'm going to stick on vintage, but during that video I tried it on and I thought, oh, maybe I should give that another go, which reinforces my point that doing a declutter and a reorganize of your wardrobe actually can give you a newfound love for a piece that you've already got. Now, a monochrome look is one of my favorites actually during winter because I can just layer up those really soft and gorgeous tones to create a really stunning tonal outfit. And it has to be said, actually, it's one of the easiest ways to make your overall look feel very chic and timeless if you're going from head to toe in one color. Now, I personally do like to do this an awful lot with winter whites, which I know is hugely impractical if it's raining outside, but this generally is the sort of outfit that I tend to reach for when it's pretty cold and wintry outside but not raining and you get splashed full of mud. Another really helpful style tip is to remember about the textures, but in this particular look I've gone with quite smooth textures rather than really contrasting ones, which is what I often do, and then the effect of that does make it feel very streamlined and elegant as a result. So this is an old wool blazer, and in fact it's not actually in stock at the moment, so I have found a couple of really good alternatives that I'll link in the description box below, but this is a lovely one that I got originally from Marcella London, and it came with a belt tie, so I just nipped it in at the waist, which is giving me a really nice hourglass shape and sort of forcing these shoulders to be a little bit sharper at the same time, making that feel a little bit more prominent, and then it makes me look a little bit more tiny on the waist too, which is another handy tip to remember. So overall, hopefully you agree it's a very sophisticated outfit, but it's also a practical one obviously as well because of that nice heavy wool with my blazer. So when choosing your own pieces of knitwear to either invest in or add into your own outfit ideas, I really think more important than ever actually is to go for quality over quantity. If that means you have to wait 6 months to buy that perfect piece of knitwear to add into your own wardrobe, I would say that is totally worth doing. Something like this beautiful knit I have here, this is one of my favorites actually that I just like to stand here and stroke because it is so beautifully soft. I would say that crew necks or V-necks are of course a little bit more classic than say a mock neck. In fact, actually thinking about mock necks, there's something really weird and frustrating about mock neck jumpers. I just can't wear them, they really annoy me. Do tell me if I'm alone on this one, but Abby, do you ever find this? Mock necks, for some reason it's very odd, but mock necks make me feel a little bit sick, like they're too tight on my neckline, and yet I can't actually wear a turtleneck or a roll neck. I don't know whether to include any of that at all because that was one big waffle, but let me know what you think. So personally I would say avoiding quite fitted knitwear. For winter that's probably a good idea because you want to be able to layer items underneath, maybe wear some thermals or at least a long sleeve cotton top. And when it comes to prints, probably the most adventurous I would go if you're thinking of a very classic and timeless wardrobe would just be a stripe like I've got here with this one. More intricate prints and colours of course can have a place in your wardrobe, but I think if you're specifically thinking very sophisticated and polished and essentially pieces that are going to last you a lifetime, I would probably stick with the classics. Now red is of course one of the big fashion trends that we saw last season, but also it's going to carry through into spring summer 2024. I would tick the trend box by adding in a striped Breton in red. Now I've paired it in this outfit idea with my grey herringbone blazer. I really love that colour combination actually. Bit of a new one for me, but I think that really works. I've had that one in my closet for 3 or 4 years now. It's not something I've bought new to tick the trend box, it's just something I already have. It does feel particularly smart but really elevated and elegant at the same time, and certainly an outfit idea that I would probably reach for on an everyday basis, but when I want to feel just a teeny tiny bit more dressed up. If perhaps however stripes aren't your particular thing, I would think about going for maybe an accessory, a nice pair of shoes, a little touch of red with your handbag, or even just a pair of earrings that have got a tiny bit of red in them. So if you are thinking of investing in this particular trend, my best advice would be to stick to the classics again. If you think about one of the other big fashion trends for 2024 with say the tulle or the sheer trend, and you went for a, I don't know, put it all together and went for a saffron red tulle, slightly see-through sheer looking skirt, that is going to date really quickly and probably look pretty awful at the same time. However, something like a red Breton striped top is not. So that would be my advice. Stick with the classics, and generally they are the pieces that we have in our wardrobe for many years to come. You can't see, but Abby sat in my line of vision with a hot blanket draped over her. Amazing. Now, in my humble opinion, there is nothing quite as luxurious and sumptuous looking as deep caramel colors within your winter outfits. And it is a tone and a look that not only feels particularly fitting for winter, but it's one that I reach for a lot. Now, when it comes to those finishing touches, I do find that this shade just adds a level of warmth and richness that can really elevate those outfit ideas. And as you can see in this outfit idea, I am particularly fond of layering a camel look with a little sprinkle of navy as well. I love that combination of those two tones together. I do really like camel and black, but it's not quite as harsh as that look. It's a little bit softer. So try and think about all those different tones and textures and those finishing touches that really will make an outfit go from good to great. And then thinking about those very little details with some beautiful gold jewelry, and then tying that jewelry in actually with the hardware on your bag. It's those little touches that often people forget, but actually as a whole, when you look at that outfit idea, it can really make all the difference. So whether it's a cozy scarf or perhaps a sleek coat, incorporating that deep caramel hue into your winter wardrobe can really help you achieve a much more polished and put together outfit idea. Now, as I mentioned before, I would say my own personal style definitely has quite a minimalist approach to it. I don't really like my outfits to feel too complicated or like there's too much going on. So I do try and focus on those small little details that will really make a difference and make me feel really polished rather than going too over the top with an outfit idea. So this outfit that I'm wearing here probably being quite a perfect example. I've gone for those clean lines, quite a minimal look with the base of my outfit, just with that crew neck jumper on my top half and the long black satin skirt on my bottom half. And then because I particularly wanted to draw the eye upwards, I went with quite a light coloured ecru blazer on my top half. Now this is a lovely one, actually made from 100% wool, so it's really nice and appropriate for freezingness outside. But also I really like the addition of another texture in there, as well as obviously that tone and drawing the eye to my top half. On the flip side of that, if you're wanting to draw the eye downwards to the bottom half, you could just change the colours over here. Use something quite light or ecru on your bottom half, perhaps with the skirt, and then on your top half go with the black. Now, although I do love that blazer styled with my jeans, when wearing it with an outfit like this, which is obviously quite straight, I could end up looking like I haven't got very much shape. So I decided to add a contrasting, but obviously tying in that black skinny belt at my waistband. So as you can see, it's a very simple, quite minimal looking outfit idea, but it makes me feel really chic and put together with as little fuss as possible. A grey on grey look will not only help you feel really on trend at the moment, but it will also give your outfits that very elegant and sophisticated edge. Now, thinking of all those moody hue tones with the grey, that is going to be particularly on trend again for spring summer 2024. And also with this particular outfit idea, I've managed to get another fashion trend into the mix with just that sprinkle of the metallics with my skirt. And again, that's another reason to opt for separates when you're thinking about investing in some new pieces, because you'll find that you can mix and match them in a lot of different ways. So I wanted to obviously keep my look warm and toasty while still feeling really sophisticated with the overall look. So I've gone with that roll neck on my top half to pair with the skirt on the bottom. Definitely got my tights on underneath there, and then my knee-high boots. If you wanted to do a little bit more layering, you could add a blazer underneath that coat. But here, I think if my memory serves me right, I have just finished with that long herringbone grey coat. Now, personally, I really like that contrast of the herringbone grey wool sat against the metallic of my skirt, and then that plain knit with my roll neck. So you've got a really nice concoction of textures in there, and of course, all those different tones that just really helps to lift the outfit and give it so much more depth. I don't think there are many pieces in my own wardrobe that are quite as timeless as a blazer, which probably explains why I've now collated so many of them over the years. So I thought I'd go through a few of the different colors and tones that I've got and my reasoning why I tend to reach for one for a certain occasion. So with my gray blazer, this one is particularly oversized. I tend to opt for the gray when I'm wanting to feel a little bit more on trend. With navy, I think I tend to opt for this when I want a very smart, casual look, particularly if I'm going a little bit suited looking, or I've got those kind of meetings where I need to feel a little bit more professional looking. That seems to be when I opt for the blue. I'm generalizing here because I wear these all the time, but in theory, that's when I often tend to reach for the navy. When I'm wanting to feel a little bit Parisian, I will often opt for my camel blazer. This is such a classic in my wardrobe, and I would never underestimate the power of having a beautiful one in your own wardrobe. And for some reason, not that it particularly makes any sense, I tend to opt for my ecru blazers more for the evening time than I do for the day. I don't really know know why I do that. And now that I've got this wool one, it might just convince me to wear it a bit more in the daytime too, because obviously it's a bit more weather appropriate. And for something a little bit different and a bit more of a statement, I've got my lovely bottle green blazer that I'm wearing in this footage. But hopefully all of that just shows you how very timeless and classic and elegant I really find blazers to be. Definitely worth saving your pennies for the nicest quality you can afford. And probably I'm a good guideline for this. Once you find that perfect shape for you, I tend to then save my pennies again, reinvest in the same style in a couple of different colors. If you are looking to invest in a new one for your own wardrobe and you really want to maximize the wear out of the pieces you get, one style tip I would say is to avoid the ones that have got the ruching details on the sleeves as kind of like a feature detail. It just seems really odd for me to restrict yourself to that style when you can very easily create a bit of ruching, shimmy the sleeves up yourself without having to have that as a permanent fixture. They're the pieces I would say wouldn't be a great investment. Keep it classic and you'll find they will serve you well for years to come. Now, when we think about wanting to look very chic, timeless and elegant in our winter outfits, leggings might not be the first thing you'd think of. However, they've definitely gone past the days of just being associated with the gym and are very much fashion forward instead. Seen on the runways, of course, from the likes of Miu Miu that paired them with the hoodie tops and blazers and jackets. And that's kind of the inspiration I was recreating with this particular outfit idea. Now, I must admit, I was a little bit slow on the uptake of the joy of leggings because I'm not normally one for wearing something so tight-fitting against my legs. However, seeing it on the catwalk, and I thought, actually, that looked really cool. And perhaps because the items they were wearing on the top half were quite oversized, made me feel a little bit more comfortable. So trying it out here, I actually really liked the look, and I did feel quite polished at the same time. I don't think I would ever be one to wear leggings out with something quite cropped. That's just not my personal style. However, pairing them with that hoodie and quite an oversized looking blazer that just sits a little bit lower, creates a longer line, that managed to make me feel elevated but comfortable at the same time. Something, of course, that is very important not to forget. The hoodie that I'm wearing there, I actually borrowed from David's wardrobe. I wanted something really quite big, so it sat a little bit longer. So if you don't have one in your own wardrobe, I would suggest you have a little look if you can borrow it from family. And I don't think you need to go with a grey blazer over the top. I think this would equally work with dark navy, it would work with black, but I would probably say go with a neutral tone to keep it feeling a really timeless look, even though it's pretty casual. Don't forget, before you buy anything new, have a really good search through your own wardrobe at what you've already got. I'm sure you've probably got some gems in there that have barely got worn and are just asking for a day out. And on the flip side of that, if you are, however, looking for something new to invest in, I've added a little bit of an edit of all my favorite pieces I've spotted across the high street recently in the description box below. Thank you all so very much for watching today's video. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section below your favorite outfit idea I've shared today, and I will be back in a couple of days with lots more styling advice and outfit ideas. See you then.